The world was watching as history unfolded in Vatican City. Millions of people waited with anticipation, eyes glued to their screens, as the famous white smoke rose from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel. This was the sign everyone had been waiting, for a new pope had been chosen. The bells of St. Peter's Basilica rang out in joy, announcing to the world that the Catholic Church had a new leader. Crowds in St. Peter's Square erupted in cheers, many of them holding flags, banners, and rosaries, celebrating this monumental moment. As the anticipation grew, the faithful stood in prayer, waiting to hear the name of the new pope. The Catholic Church stood at a crossroads, facing many challenges in the modern world. People hoped for a leader who would bring positive change while preserving the sacred traditions of the faith. The question on everyone's mind was, who would be the new shepherd of the Church? Then came the announcement that echoed around the world. Luis Antonio Tagle, the Archbishop of Manila, had been elected as the new pope. He would take the name Pope Francis II. The news sent waves of excitement and emotion throughout the Catholic community. This was not just the election of a new pope. It was the beginning of a new chapter for the Church. Pope Francis II was known for his humility, deep spirituality, and dedication to the people, especially the poor and the marginalized. He was a leader who understood the struggles of everyday people, having worked closely with communities in need throughout his life. His election was seen as a bridge between the past and the future, tradition and modernity, faith and action. As the world processed this historic moment, celebrations erupted across different continents. In the Philippines, where Pope Francis II had served as a beloved archbishop, streets were filled with people singing, praying, and celebrating. Church bells rang throughout Manila, and people gathered in churches to offer prayers of thanksgiving. This was a moment of pride for Filipinos, as one of their own had been chosen to lead the Catholic Church. Across Europe, Africa, and the Americas, similar scenes of joy and hope unfolded. The Catholic community saw Pope Francis II as a leader who could bring people together in an era of division. His election was not just about leadership. It was about renewing faith, restoring trust, and guiding the Church toward a future of inclusivity and unity. The responsibilities of the new pope were immense. The Catholic Church faced challenges such as declining church attendance in some countries, calls for greater transparency, and the need for stronger engagement with young people. Many hoped that Pope Francis II would address these issues with wisdom and compassion. His background as a spiritual leader with a deep commitment to social justice gave people confidence that he was the right person for this role. One of the most remarkable aspects of Pope Francis II's leadership was his ability to connect with people. He was known for his warmth, kindness, and genuine concern for others. He listened to the concerns of the faithful, reaching out to those who felt disconnected from the Church. His approach to leadership was one of service, reminding people that the role of the Pope was not about power, but about guiding the Church with humility and love. Pope Francis II emphasized the importance of unity within the Church. He understood that the Catholic Church was diverse, with millions of followers from different cultures and backgrounds. He called for greater inclusion, ensuring that all voices were heard and respected. His vision for the Church was one of openness and dialogue, where people could come together in faith, regardless of their differences. His commitment to social justice was another defining feature of his leadership. Throughout his years as a priest, bishop, and cardinal, he worked tirelessly to support the poor, the sick, and those who had been forgotten by society. He believed that faith was not just about prayer but about action, helping those in need, standing up for what is right, and being a voice for the voiceless. As Pope, he continued this mission, urging Catholics around the world to care for one another and to live out the true teachings of Christ. Pope Francis II also spoke about the need for transparency and accountability within the Church. He understood that trust had been broken in some areas and that it was necessary to rebuild confidence in Church leadership. He promised to address these concerns with honesty and sincerity, ensuring that the Church remained a place of integrity and faith. The new Pope's leadership extended beyond the Catholic Church. He engaged in dialogue with leaders of different religions, promoting peace and understanding among different faith communities. He believed that the world needed more cooperation, not division, and he worked tirelessly to build bridges between people of different beliefs. His efforts were seen as a sign of hope in a time when the world was facing many challenges. Under his guidance, the Church focused on issues such as climate change, social justice, and global peace. Pope Francis II reminded people that caring for the environment was not just a scientific issue but also a moral one. He encouraged people to take action in protecting the planet, emphasizing that the earth was a gift from God that should be cared for and respected. His vision for the Church was clear. Faith should be a source of hope, love, and action. He wanted the Church to be a place where everyone felt welcome, where people could find comfort, and where the teachings of Christ were lived out in everyday life. His leadership was not just about policies and decisions. It was about inspiring people to be better, to serve others, and to strengthen their faith. As the world looked ahead to the future of the Catholic Church under Pope Francis II, there was a renewed sense of optimism. His election symbolized a fresh start, a moment of transformation and a call for unity. He embodied the values that many Catholics held dear: humility, compassion, and unwavering faith. The journey ahead would not be easy, but Pope Francis II was ready to lead with courage and wisdom. He knew that the Church needed to evolve while remaining true to its core teachings. He was committed to listening, learning, and guiding the faithful through the challenges of the modern world. The Catholic Church had witnessed many historic moments, but the election of Pope Francis II was truly special. It was a reminder that faith could bring people together, that hope could be restored, and that a new dawn had arrived for the Church. This was not just a change in leadership. It was a moment of renewal, a time to embrace the future with faith and confidence. As the celebrations continued, one thing was clear: the Catholic Church was entering a new era, one filled with hope, promise, and the unwavering belief that faith had the power to change the world. Pope Francis II was ready to lead, and millions of people were ready to walk this journey of faith with him.